high risk AI, and prohibited AI. Let me explain EU AI Act in 15 minutes. Welcome to TechGov Intelligence. I'm Shakil Emia, the founder of Prudential Middle East UAE and TechGov Intelligence Pakistan. So we are working at the intersection of technology, regulations, risk, and capacity building, helping investors, institutions, enterprises, and startups to take smarter decisions in the digital economy. In the last discussion, we were talking about the general principles of AI governance, and then we talked about the Central Bank of UAE recommendation for the licensed financial institutions in UAE to use AI responsibly and ethically. So today we are going to discuss about the main principles, the 10 principles in part 1 of EU AI Act. The European Union Artificial Intelligence Act is considered one of the most comprehensive AI regulation in the world. So it came into force on 2nd of August 2024, and then it is going to be implemented in different phases, and by 2027 the entire framework is going to be implemented in EU countries. So this is 113 article law, and the first principle which we are going to discuss at this time, it is relating to human centric and trustworthy AI. So it means that the AI, the basic principles of AI should be human friendly. They should protect the human dignity, human life, human health, and human sanctity at any condition. So this basic principle should lie at the heart of the EU AI Act. So this is principle number 1, and the second principle is relating to risk-based approach. So there are two kinds of risk. The one is the unacceptable risks. So these are those risks where human life, human sanctity, human dignity, if these are jeopardized and if they are under the shamble, so these kind of AI risks are not acceptable. And risk category is also very important in many ways. Like for example, if the humans are manipulated, if they are deceived, and if in these categories no regulations can be accepted, and they should be implemented with strict risk classification categories. And if those risk classification categories are not adopted, then these high risk systems cannot be accepted by the EU EI Act. The first thing is that, for example, once the AI system is ready, so it should go with the second stage, should be the confirmation stage, and all the risk classification should be there. It should be dealt very systematically, and in the third phase the AI system should be registered with the EU data. This is the third phase of high risk AI systems. And the fourth one is that it should be confirmed, there should be a declaration, and this AI system should be signed by the concerned parties, and after that this AI system is okay to go into the market. So all these systems are, all the regulations, 113 regulations of EU AI Act explain extensively that what should be the procedures for the AI systems, for the developers, for the deployers, for the exporter of AI system, for the importer of AI system. So this should also be kept into consideration, and this is very important principle, that these EU AI principles are not applicable for the countries which are located within EU or European Union, but any other countries which are not a part of EU, but they are providing either AI services or AI products which are being used within EU, so they are also under this regulation. So they have to follow this regulation. So this is the second principle, and the third principle is relating to a protection of prohibition of unacceptable risk. So unacceptable risk, as I mentioned, these are those risks which are directly related to human life, human sanctity, democratic institutions, justice system, and if these things are not going to be protected by the AI systems or if there are any doubt or evidence that the AI systems or AI modules which are going to not confirm these principles, they must not be accepted. So there are strict principle, and the EU AI office and other monitoring team, they have to consider this principle very carefully. And the other principle is relating to safety and physical protection. The safety of people, either their physical safety or their reputational safety, it is at the heart of EU AI Act. Like for example, the data protection, the privacy of the data, these are also considered as under the safety. And the privacy law, like the GDPR, has already explained it very extensively. But in the EU AI Act, the safety and physical protection of the people remains at the top priority. And the next principle is related to fundamental rights protection. So the fundamental rights, as declared by the United Nations Fundamental Rights Declaration, are also at the heart of the EU AI Act. Every principle, the AI system should not decide anything which is against the fundamental rights. And according to that, before the AI systems are adopted, the compliance teams, the regulatory teams, and the board of the directors of the concerned institution, they are under obligation to make the very extensive and detailed sorry analysis of the AI systems before they come into the market. So the fundamental rights is really something very important. The next one is relating to high quality data governance. So the quality of data, as we discussed in our last episodes, is really something very important. If the data is best, the AI outcome or AI decisions will be best. If the data is poor, the AI outcome or AI decisions will be poor. So the data governance remains at the heart of EU AI Act. So any data which is based on discrimination or which is not based on human justice principle, that should not be adopted by the EU AI Act. So the AI systems or the AI deployers or the AI exporters or the AI developers, they must keep this principle into the mind, that any system which is against the high quality or high standard of quality data, that should not be accepted by the EU AI Act. The seventh principle is relating to a transparency requirement. As we mentioned last time, even in the regulations which are given by the Central Bank of UAE for the licensed financial institution, the transparency is really something very important. So the one principle of transparency is that the consumers across the world, but now we are only talking about EU, they have the right to know either they are talking to the robots or they are talking to the human being. So they have the right to understand this principle. Secondly, the boards of the companies or institution, they should make it clear that any AI system before adoption has got proper documentation, and there should be a legal due diligence if the systems are being provided to the third party AI providers or AI developers. So that is the this principle. So that's relating to transparency. So transparency is really very important. So the other principle is relating to human oversight, as was discussed in the guidelines given by the UAE Central Bank to the licensed financial institution. Here in the EU AI Act, again, human oversight is really important, and especially for the high risk system, the system high risk AI, the human oversight is very important. And as we discussed last time, that there are three categories of human oversight: human on pool, human in pool, and human out of the pool. So if there are high risk AI systems, so the human involvement is extremely important, and humans can approve or they can disapprove the AI system. And there are human in pool, means if the systems are not too much risky, but at the same time the people have the right and the board are under the obligations to review all these things in a more detail. And the last one is relating to human oversight. Yeah, this is something we're just discussing about human oversight. And the ninth principle is relating to accountability of providers and deployers. So as we mentioned that the deployers and providers, they are all under the obligations to protect the AI sanctity and all the regulations of AI system. So this is a very brief discussion about the main principles of AI Act of 2024. So we will be discussing in more details in the next episode. So thank you very much for your time. So if you are a government, or if you are an investor, or if you are any institution, need help on tech policy or regulations or AI governance principle, don't hesitate to contact us directly. Thank you very much.